Hi guys, welcome back to my channel, Lily Millions Blur of Color. Today I'm playing with 3 of the Sweet Shoppe palettes from BH Cosmetics. They're quite new and I think they have 6 of them. The other 3 weren't kind of my cup of tea, too neutral. I'm not that kind of a neutral girl, so I got cotton candy, which is the pink purple one. I got bubblegum, which is the blue one, and I got pistachio, which is the green one. In this video you'll see me trying out a look from each palette, and after each look I'll give you my thoughts on that palette in each part. So if you're interested in seeing how I did this look and want to know what the other 2 looks are, stay tuned, keep on watching and have fun. I'm starting with a soft serve in the inner part of my crease, and I'm applying it with the Morphe M506 brush. This is a pastel and you have to kind of build it up to get it quite opaque, because pastels are just a little bit more on the sheer side, so you have to work a little, but it's okay. I was fine in the end. Next I'm going in with Guilty Pleasure in the middle part of my crease, and these colors so far blend out really well and they blend into each other very nicely. I like that. For the outer part of my crease I'm using Nutty. For the inner part of my lid I'm using Sweet Life, and I'm applying it with a Morphe M124 brush, and I must say these pick up quite nicely even on a dry brush, so if you're not a finger glitter person then you're very fine with the flat packing brush, and it applies really shiny. I even saw that in the swatches before, so I really love that color. On the middle part of my lid I'm going in with Treats and the same brush. And on the other third of the lid I'm going in with Crunch and also the same brush. And I find that these shimmers do blend really well into each other and are very shiny, so not satiny at all. So they're exactly like I like my whatever. They're exactly like I like my shimmers. Well, yeah, likes a lot. Okay. On my inner corner I'm using Dessert, and although this color is on the sheerer side, it is a very nice shimmer, kind of duochromy a little bit. I don't know, I can't really explain it, but it's very pretty, and it might even be more pretty or prettier if you have some color underneath it, so might try it as a topper in the future. To deepen up my crease and blend out the edge between the shimmers and the mattes, and on my lower lash line I'm going in with Cone or Cup, and I'm using a Morphe M506 brush for this. For the inner part of my lower lash line I'm going in with Guilty Pleasure, and I'm using the same brush as before. And as a brow bone highlight I'm using Dessert, and I'm applying it with the Morphe JS13 brush. Here's the finished look after applying the rest of the face. You can find all the products that I used down in the description box. So, after doing this look, let me give you my first impression thoughts about the Pistachio palette from the Sweet Shoppe collection from BH Cosmetics. I mean, first of all, this packaging. It's just so cute with all these sprinkles and the mixture between matte and shimmery and shiny and the ice cream. And what I think is even much better is you can, well, if you stack all of the palettes together, it is, I guess, supposed to be a whole ice cone with all these balls on top and the cherry. Well, I don't have all of them, I just have 3, so I can only stack 3 ice balls, but still cool. Yeah, I must say the shimmers are nice shimmers, as I like my shimmers to be. The dessert is a little bit more of a topper, so I guess it's a little bit more sheer, and it doesn't have a color underneath, so it's quite nice for the inner corner and as a brow bone highlight, as I used it. I think the matte ones on the top, no, on the bottom row are a little bit not chalky, but you have kickback in the pan, which is okay. I don't mind that. With the mattes, I only had a little bit more fallout with cone or cup. I didn't really have fallout with the other 3, nutty, guilty pleasure, and soft serve. I did have fallout, and you can maybe see it here a little bit with the shiny ones. I think it was Sweet Life that had a bit of fallout, and I couldn't really wipe it away, but since I do wear a lot of highlighter, it's fine with me. Although they didn't have any kick up in the pan, so okay. And I did even spray my brush with the Fix Plus, but all 4 of the shimmers did really pick up very well with a brush. So sometimes it's kind of hard to pick up shimmers with a brush, but these were absolutely no problem. So I guess that I didn't use my fingers today. I don't usually use my fingers anymore. I used to do that a lot, but don't do that anymore. But I guess if you can pick them up with the brush, then it shouldn't be a problem to pick them up with a finger too. So I guess that's okay. So overall, my little few thoughts about this palette. I really like it. The pigmentation is great. Yeah, it works fine. I would recommend it. Yeah, nice palette, and kind of interested in how the other 2 that I have are performing. So you'll see, I guess, the blue one in the next video, and then yeah, keep on watching, and at the end I think I'll give another thoughts about all of them, maybe. For the crease color, I'm using Bubbles, and I'm applying it with the Morphe M506 brush, and I'm applying the color all into my crease. To blend it out toward the brow bone, I'm using Chili and the same brush. Since I'm doing a halo eye in this look, I'm using Sweetened in the outer and inner part of my lid. To deepen up my outer V, I'm using Single Scoop, and I'm applying it with the Morphe E36 brush. For the middle part of my lid, I'm using Pop and a Morphe M124 brush. And kind of as a transition shade between Pop and Sweetened, I'm using Blueberry, and I'm applying it kind of right on the line between Pop and Sweetened and on the inner and outer part of Pop. And to give it a little bit more oomph, I'm applying Frozen right in the middle of Pop. And for that, I'm using a Morphe M, I think it was a 760 brush. This is a brush with a silicone head because the Frozen color didn't want to be picked up with a brush, so I just tried something different. I'm using the same color on my brow bone with a Morphe JS13 brush. And also as an inner corner highlight. On my lower lash line, I'm going in with Bubbles and a Morphe M506 brush. And to deepen that up, I'm using Sweetened and the Morphe E36. And here's the finished look after applying the rest of my face, and as before, you can find the products that I've used down in the description box. Here are my thoughts about the bubblegum palette from the BH Cosmetics Sweet Shoppe. This is the blue palette. And let me show you what I said earlier. Like I said, that you can stack those on top of each other and have those little ice balls. See? I think this is so cool. From packaging, it has it on the outer paper slip that you can take off, and it has it on the actual palette. So, anyway, we have here the bubblegum. Like in the green palette, the lower row, the matte ones, are quite kickback or kick-uppy, or do have kickback or kick up, or however you want to call it in the pan. And again, I did have fallout with the darker ones, but you could wipe that easily away, so it wasn't a problem at all. I hardly had any fallout with the light ones, and again, did have some fallout with those lighter ones of the shimmers. And yeah, these are kind of a little harder to get away, but still, like I said in the other part of the video, I don't mind because I wear a lot of highlighter anyway, so that's fine. I didn't use Sweet Tooth because, I don't know, I didn't think it would fit into my halo eye, but I will use it again. But so far so good. All of these are quite pigmented. I think this one I didn't use it, well, I did use it alone on the inner corner, and it, whoa, oh no, I'm sorry, I scratched it, never mind. The Frozen is a little bit on the sheer side, so kind of more as a topper, but I think as an inner corner or brow bone highlight, it is very pretty. And Blueberry is not as shiny and shimmery as the other two are. It is more leaning towards satiny, but it's not a satin yet, so that's fine. But as a transition shade for halo eye between like the dark ones and the light shimmers, it's very nice. I think it fits very well, so it's still okay. But yeah, I also like this one too. And I guess in the next part I'll be using the cotton candy one. I'm starting with Confection and a Morphe M506 brush, and I'm applying it on the inner third of my crease. Next I'm going in with Sugar Plum, and I'm applying it to the middle third of my crease. And this purple is kind of a little bit harder to blend than other purples that I have in my collection, but with a little love it works quite well, and I really like this shade of purple. Next I'm going in with Light and Airy in the outer third of my crease, And this is also a shade of purple that is not as easy to work with as other purples. As kind of a base, I'm going in with Carnival and I'm applying it all over my lid. And I must say, this is one of the two favorite colors that I have in this palette. Now I'm using Twirl and a Morphe M124, and this is the other one of my favorite shades in this palette. To give a little bit of depth to my outer part of my lid, I'm applying Swirl with the Morphe M124 brush, but in the end it didn't really turn out much darker than Twirl, although they look quite different in the pan, but on the eyes I didn't really see a difference, just a tiny bit. As an inner corner highlight, I'm using Fluff and a Morphe JS13 brush. And as a brow bone highlight, I'm using Sugar. For the inner third of my lower lash line, I'm going back in with Conviction and the Morphe M506 brush. For the middle part of my lower lash line, I'm using Sugar Plum. For the outer part of my lower lash line, I'm going back in with Light and Airy. And as you can see, there was quite a bit of fallout, which I usually don't mind as long as you can swipe it away. But this color is really hard to get swiped away. So here's the finished look. I'm not quite satisfied with how it turned out. It looked much better in my head, so, well, I had to live with it through the day because I didn't have time before work to change it. Here are my thoughts about the Cotton Candy Sweet Shoppe from BH Cosmetics. And to finish it off, what I started yesterday. See if I can grab it that way. Kind of, see? 3 ice balls on top of each other. Even the chocolate drips are lining up. I really like this kind of packaging. Well, although I kind of would want to complete it all, I guess I'm not buying all the rest of the colors because they're just not for me. Ooh, I almost dropped that. Okay, there it is. Same again as in the other parts of the videos. The top row, no, the bottom row, yeah, the top row, right, is chalky or has kick up in the pan, which is okay and doesn't really show on the face except for Light and Airy. I felt that I had a lot of fallout there on the outer corners of my eyes, and I kind of had a little trouble to wipe it away, so that is not as good. But the other matte colors weren't a problem to wipe away. The top row, the same, no fallout, or no, never mind, not the same. I had not really fallout in the middle of, or on my eyes, not on my cheeks. I really love this color Twirl. It's so shiny on the lid. And Sugar and Fluff are more of a topper color, I would say. They're quite sheer, but as before, they're nice in the inner corner or in the brow bone or as a topper. In this palette, you kind of have doubles, like pairs. I think all the colors on top of each other fit quite nicely together. So if you do a base of Sugar Plum and then you can coat it with sugar, and you should be fine and wouldn't have any skin showing through. Yes, after all, oh, yeah, this one is my least favorite of the 3 palettes that I have, just because, yeah, kind of with this color story, I guess I would have preferred a more just pink and a just purple thing, like Pistachio and blue, Bubblegum were just blue and green. But it's quite a nice color scheme. And oh yes, I kind of missed a dark color, like a dark purple or dark pink. Yeah, I don't know the color in English, but a very dark color to deepen up the outer V and crease and stuff. Like, and the other two were two very dark colors, so that's kind of a bad, no, not a bad thing, but that's the thing that I'm missing. But on the whole, still a gorgeous palette.